Hi, welcome to another edition of Marty's Place. Today we're doing ribs, and the name that's been given to this type of ribs is 3-2-1. There are three different preparations that need to be done for 3-2-1 ribs, and I'm involved in doing the first one right now. So I've taken the ribs out of the package and I've prepared one rack of ribs already, and I just wanted to briefly show how I would do the second one. So on the ribs, I'm not sure how well you can see from our video, but on the back side of the ribs there's a very thin membrane that has to be removed. And what I do is I just get under with my nail and make sure my hands are clean, of course, and you can see it's almost like a cellophane that pulls off. And so it's again like a fatty tissue cellophane. I'll just put that in there for now. Okay, once that's done, then if there's any other sort of pieces that aren't great, I just quickly cut that off, and they're ready for the seasoning. Now you can use a variety of seasonings. I just have a store-bought one called Johnny's seasoning salt, but I've actually made my own rubs and different things, but this one I find is very appropriate. And give it a liberal sprinkling on both sides. And that should do. And after that's done, I use a mustard paste. And how I make the mustard paste, you can see it's a thick paste, but I use a splash of Worcestershire and a splash of juice, and today I'm trying pineapple juice just to give it a little more Hawaiian kick, and of course a lot of mustard. Okay, so a splash of pineapple, a splash of Worcestershire, and mostly mustard. And then all you do is I just baste it on really thick. And on my tray here I have a piece of cellophane because it helps the mess, keep the mess down. Okay, so that's one side. I'll put a little more on this one here, it's been sitting for a bit. Okay, flip it over. Normally I would wash my hands after I flip it, but we're gonna be okay. As usual, I keep my sink full of hot soapy water, because I find I'm washing my hands a lot doing this sort of thing. I try to get all the areas. Now, I'm going to be cooking this on a wood pellet grill. And I've set the grill for 225 degrees. So the next phase is to put the ribs on. So we'll take them out. Hopefully my camera person can follow me out. And I apologize for the difference in light. Oh, while we're here, I'll show you my newest painting. It's a picture of Sadie and myself, and it's done by my favorite artist, of course, Elise Mullen, right? So she really captured what Sadie and I do. We play ball about 3 times a day, and I use my trusty lacrosse stick because Sadie can't see that well, and I find I don't throw it that hard with her using it. So anyways, let's get the ribs on. The beauty of the wood pellet grill is that it keeps the same temperature. So I've set it for 225, and you really have to get to know your wood pellet grill. I find some seem that they burn hotter than others, so you don't have to keep them, you can set it a little bit lower. I find 225 works great, and I have certain hot areas of my grill as well. So what I end up doing is I try to put, if there's a thicker piece, I put it at the hot end, like I'm doing now. And it is a bit messy, but let's see, that's the thicker end here. So, got my little pinky that's not mustardy. And we'll take this in, wash it up. And what I do right now then is just set my timer on my phone for 3 hours, and in 3 hours we'll return and we'll do step 2 of the process, and the end result should be great tasting ribs. So we'll see you in 3 hours. Okay, welcome back to Marty's place here in Calgary. Our ribs have now been on for 3 hours, and I've just pulled them off the wood pellet grill. So the next step in the process of the 3-2-1 ribs is to coat the ribs in honey, sprinkle brown sugar on, and I've done one already just to expedite things. So the brown sugar goes on, and then of course I have it on a double foil, extra wide foil that I will eventually wrap them in. So the process looks like this then. I just take, and this is natural honey. I have a tiny little jar that should do just fine. And I sprinkle it on the rib, and then add the brown sugar. And when you're actually, the ribs are ready, the ribs don't taste sweet at all. So that's one side, and then I flip it over. Repeat the process. Add the brown sugar. And as I said, you just want to kind of cover the ribs. There's extra brown sugar on the side, and that's fine. So the next stage, and it's a little tricky because even though this is extra wide foil, you have to try and wrap the ribs. And I will try to wrap it nice and tight so I don't have leaks. And the last thing you want to do, of course, is poke a hole anywhere in the bottom of the foil. So that's not too bad. And when I get near the end of the foil, I just sort of angle it up on both ends. And the last thing is I pour a good splash of juice, and again I'm using pineapple juice, Aloha, in both ends, and this will help keep the ribs and almost steam them in the juice for the next 2 hours. So this will go back on the Traeger, and I use the same temperature. If I'm worried about temperature for the last hour, I will turn it down. But right now things are looking really good, and I'll just carry it out and put it back on the Traeger, and we'll be back in 2 hours time this time. Bye.
Good.
Welcome back to Marty's place. It's now been 2 more hours since the ribs have been on the wood pellet grill. So I've just pulled them off and started to open the foil. If you remember, they were coated with honey, brown sugar, and a little pineapple juice has been added into the bottom. So the last stage in this is to take them out of the foil and to baste them with barbecue sauce and put them back on the wood pellet grill for 1 hour. So they look amazing right now, and this is the hard part, is trying to get them without burning myself. So 1 and 2. And the foil, I just try to, without making too much of a mess, just to put it into the sink for now. All right, so barbecue sauce, all kinds that you can use. I've used many different kinds, but today I'm just using what I have available. Good old Bullseye, and I sprinkle it on, again, liberally. And use my basting brush to try and coat it all over. And the ribs appear to be done. One of the issues that you may have with this is actually it falling off the bone as you're taking it off the wood pellet grill after the 6 hours. But that's actually a good thing, because most people want their ribs sort of falling off the bone ribs. So we're almost there. And this is looking pretty good right now. Good. So I will take this back out, and as I said, 1 more hour on the wood pellet grill. Then the next time you see them, I'll be putting them on the cutting board and getting them ready to serve. See you in an hour. Hi, welcome back to Marty's place. The ribs have just been taken off the wood pellet grill. They look amazing. So I'm just getting them ready to serve. And what I do for that is I just cut them into individual servings by just finding where the rib bone is and placing them on a serving platter. So it goes really quick as long as you can find the rib bone. And these, if you can see, they're quite done. They do pull away from the bone very easily. So that's what you want to do when you cook your ribs. And as I said, we'll stack them up. We have the cornbread ready to go, the rice, the table is set, and we're joined by 4 others, including myself, or 5 others actually, including myself. So more than enough ribs. 2 racks would do easily, I think, 6 people, and maybe with some leftovers. So if you're wondering, that's what has happened to us in the past. So I'll just put my knife in, and as I said, you no need to watch me cut all the ribs up. But I was thinking, I usually have a teaching moment. I didn't know what to do, but I was thinking, teaching high school students, I was thinking, they stay young. I mean, the high school students you teach are always 17 years old, right? They don't change. You grow older and older, but a lot of it is attitude. So I was thinking, how do students stay young? And it's little things that they do. And I don't know if it's transferable, but let's say you're in your 30s, late 20s, maybe into your 40s, and you want to keep a younger image. Well, one of the things that I've noticed that can usually take about 10 years off your time is how you wear your ball cap. So the older person would wear a ball cap in a normal way, like this. But if you want to have a younger image, then what you can do, and it probably could take 10 years off of you, and you go up about 3 notches on the cool scale as well. All you have to do is take your ball cap off and put it on like this. And so you become cooler and you become younger. So it works with some people, but remember, some people look like dweebs in a ball cap, no matter what they do. So, you know, whether you wear it this way or this way, ball caps aren't for everyone. I like wearing a ball cap personally. So, as I said, it can knock 10 years off of you, and you know, we're from Calgary here, but I would advise it doesn't really work with cowboy hats. So keep that in mind and take care and stay safe.